Hagia Sophia, 1,500 years of history, faith, and empire. In the heart of Istanbul stands a building that has outlived empires, survived earthquakes, and witnessed the transformation of civilizations. A structure so powerful that it changed the course of architecture, religion, and world history. This is Hagia Sophia, known in Turkish as Hagia Sophia. For nearly 15 centuries, this monument has stood at the crossroads of East and West as a church, a mosque, a museum, and once again, a mosque. This is not just the story of a building. This is the story of humanity itself. Before Hagia Sophia, the foundations. Long before Hagia Sophia existed, Byzantium was a strategic city overlooking the Bosphorus Strait. In the year 330 AD, Roman Emperor Constantine the Great renamed it Constantinople, making it the new capital of the Roman Empire. Christianity was rising, and monumental churches were symbols of imperial power. The first Hagia Sophia was built in 360 AD, but it was destroyed during riots. A second version followed, and it too was burned down during the Nika revolt in 532 AD. What came next would change history forever. Justinian's vision, birth of a masterpiece. Emperor Justinian I wanted more than a church. He wanted a structure that would surpass every building ever created. Construction began in 532 AD, employing over 10,000 workers. Two brilliant mathematicians, Anthemius of Tralles and Isidore of Miletus, were chosen as architects. In just 5 years, Hagia Sophia was completed. When Justinian entered the finished building in 537 AD, he famously declared, "Solomon, I have surpassed you." The dome that changed architecture. The dome of Hagia Sophia was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Rising 55.6 meters above the floor, it appeared to float in midair. Light poured through 40 windows at its base, creating a heavenly illusion. This was the first time a massive dome rested on pendentifs, a revolutionary architectural solution that influenced mosque and cathedral design for centuries. Even today, Hagia Sophia remains a miracle of engineering. Byzantine spiritual power. For nearly 1,000 years, Hagia Sophia was the heart of Orthodox Christianity. Emperors were crowned here. Patriarchs preached beneath the dome. Golden mosaics depicted Christ, the Virgin Mary, and saints in breathtaking detail. Hagia Sophia was not just a place of worship. It was the soul of the Byzantine Empire. The fall of Constantinople. In 1453, history reached a turning point. Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, only 21 years old, conquered Constantinople. When he entered Hagia Sophia, he ordered it to be protected. The cathedral was converted into a mosque, but not destroyed. Minarets were added. Christian mosaics were carefully covered, not erased. The building entered a new chapter, Islamic, yet respectful of its past. Hagia Sophia as an Ottoman mosque. For nearly 500 years, Hagia Sophia served as one of the most important mosques in the Islamic world. Calligraphy panels bearing the names of Allah, Prophet Muhammad, and the first caliphs were installed. Famous Ottoman architect Mimar Sinan strengthened the structure, saving it from collapse. Many of Istanbul's great mosques, including the Blue Mosque, were inspired directly by Hagia Sophia. From Mosque to Museum. In 1935, under Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, Hagia Sophia became a museum. For the first time in centuries, Christian mosaics were uncovered and restored. People from all religions could walk freely beneath its dome. Hagia Sophia became a global symbol of shared human heritage, modern era, and return to mosque. In 2020, Hagia Sophia was reconverted into a mosque. The decision sparked global debate, but the doors remained open to visitors from around the world. Today, Hagia Sophia continues its dual identity, a functioning mosque and a living museum of history, art, symbolism. Inside Hagia Sophia, history whispers from every surface. The Desis mosaic reveals unmatched artistic mastery. Viking graffiti carved into marble tells unexpected stories. Columns were brought from ancient temples across the empire. Every stone carries memory. Why Hagia Sophia matters. Hagia Sophia is more than Christian, more than Islamic, more than Turkish. It belongs to humanity. It proves that civilizations may rise and fall, but great ideas endure. For 1,500 years, Hagia Sophia has stood as a bridge between worlds, reminding us that history is not divided, but connected. Topkapi Palace, heart of the Ottoman Empire, 500 years of power and secrets. The Palace of Empires, overlooking the Bosphorus, where Europe meets Asia, stands a palace that once ruled much of the known world. For nearly 5 centuries, decisions made within these walls shaped history across 3 continents. This is Topkapi Palace, the political, cultural, and spiritual heart of the Ottoman Empire. More than a royal residence, Topkapi was a city within a city, a place of power, secrecy, tradition, and legacy. The birth of Topkapi. After conquering Constantinople in 1453, Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, known as Mehmed the Conqueror, sought a new imperial center. Construction of Topkapi Palace began in 1460. Unlike European palaces built as single massive structures, Topkapi was designed as a complex of courtyards, gardens, and pavilions. It symbolized the Ottoman vision of power, controlled, layered, and sacred. The first courtyard, the Imperial Gate. The first courtyard was the only section opened to the public. Soldiers, officials, craftsmen, and visitors entered here. This area housed service buildings, bakeries, and barracks. It marked the boundary between the public world and the empire's inner sanctum. Beyond this point, access became strictly controlled. The second courtyard governing an empire. The second courtyard was the administrative heart of the Ottoman Empire. Here stood the Imperial Council Divan, the treasury, the palace kitchens, serving thousands daily. Viziers debated matters of war, diplomacy, and law. Although the Sultan rarely appeared, his presence was always felt. Power here was silent, but absolute. The harem power behind the curtain. The harem is one of the most misunderstood parts of Topkapi Palace. It was not merely a private living space, it was a center of influence, home to the Sultan's family, concubines, and servants. The harem was ruled by the valid Sultan, the Sultan's mother. Many political decisions were influenced here, away from public eyes. The harem shaped succession, alliances, and the future of the empire. The third courtyard, the Sultan's world. The third courtyard marked the Sultan's private domain. Only elite officials were allowed entry. Here were the Sultan's audience chambers, private quarters, and elite schools. Luxury and discipline coexisted. Gold, silk, and jewels reflected imperial wealth, but strict protocol governed every movement. Sacred relics, spiritual authority. One of Topkapi's most important sections is the Chamber of Sacred Relics. Here are preserved items believed to belong to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, earlier prophets, early Islamic leaders. These relics strengthened the Ottoman claim as protectors of Islam and leaders of the Muslim world. Religion and empire were inseparable. Decline and transformation. By the 19th century, Ottoman rulers began moving to more modern palaces like Dolmabahce. Topkapi slowly lost its political role. However, its symbolic power remained. The empire was changing, and so was the palace. From palace to museum. In 1924, following the founding of the Turkish Republic, Topkapi Palace became a museum. For the first time, the public could walk through the halls of Ottoman power. Today, millions visit Topkapi each year, not to witness rule, but to understand history. Why Topkapi Palace matters. Topkapi Palace is not just stone and marble. It is a living record of empire, belief, culture, and human ambition. Within these walls, the world was governed. And today, its silence tells stories louder than words. Topkapi Palace stands as a reminder that power fades, but history endures. Ephesus, the lost city of empires, ancient Greece, Rome and early Christianity. The city that time forgot. On the western coast of modern day, Turkey lies one of the greatest archaeological wonders on earth. A city once filled with philosophers, merchants, emperors, and pilgrims. This is Ephesus, a city that stood at the center of ancient civilization for over 1,000 years, from Greek beginnings to Roman glory, and from pagan temples to early Christianity. Ephesus tells the story of human ambition, belief, and transformation. Where Ephesus began. Ephesus was founded around 1000 BC by Greek settlers from Ionia. Its location near the Aegean Sea made it a powerful trading hub. Merchants, sailors, and travelers from across the ancient world passed through its streets. From the beginning, Ephesus was destined to be a city of wealth and influence, the goddess Artemis and sacred power. Ephesus was home to the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This massive temple was not only a religious center, but also a financial and cultural hub. Pilgrims traveled from distant lands to worship Artemis, the goddess of fertility and protection. The temple symbolized the spiritual importance of Ephesus in the ancient world. Ephesus under Roman rule. In 129 BC, Ephesus became part of the Roman Empire. Under Roman rule, the city reached its golden age. It became the capital of the Roman province of Asia. Wide marble streets, fountains, bathhouses, and monuments transformed Ephesus into a showcase of Roman urban design. At its peak, the city had over 250,000 inhabitants, making it one of the largest cities in the Roman world. The Great Theater Voices of the Past. The Great Theater of Ephesus could seat over 25,000 people. It hosted dramatic performances, political gatherings, gladiator contests. According to tradition, St. Paul preached here, sparking conflict with followers of Artemis. This theater witnessed clashes between old beliefs and new faiths. Daily life in Ephesus. Ephesus was a city of comfort and sophistication. It had public toilets with running water, heated bathhouses, paved streets lit by oil lamps. The terrace houses reveal luxurious homes with mosaics, frescoes, and indoor plumbing. Life in Ephesus reflected Roman engineering at its finest. Ephesus and early Christianity. Ephesus played a crucial role in early Christian history. St. Paul lived and preached here. St. John is believed to have written part of the gospel in the region. The Virgin Mary is traditionally said to have spent her final years nearby. Ephesus became one of the earliest centers of Christianity. Decline and abandonment. Over time, the harbor silted up, cutting Ephesus off from the sea. Trade declined. Earthquakes and invasions weakened the city. By the early Middle Ages, Ephesus was largely abandoned. Nature slowly reclaimed its streets and buildings. Rediscovery and excavation. In the 19th century, archaeologists rediscovered Ephesus. Careful excavation revealed streets, temples, homes, and inscriptions. Today, Ephesus is one of the best preserved ancient cities in the world. Each stone uncovered adds another chapter to its story. Why Ephesus matters. Ephesus is more than ruins. It is a mirror of civilization, showing how cities rise, flourish, and fade. Walking through Ephesus, we walk through time itself. Its legacy reminds us that knowledge, faith, and culture endure long after empires fall. Cappadocia, a land of fairy chimneys and ancient wonders. Turkey. Cappadocia, one of the most magical landscapes on Earth. A place where nature and history blend into something that feels almost unreal. Here, towering fairy chimneys, vast valleys, underground cities, and hundreds of hot air balloons rising at sunrise create scenes you won't find anywhere else in the world. Located in the heart of central Turkey, Cappadocia is not just a travel destination. It's an open-air museum, shaped by millions of years of volcanic activity and thousands of years of human civilization. Where is Cappadocia? Cappadocia lies in central Anatolia, mainly covering the provinces of Nevşehir, Kayseri, Aksaray, and Nig. The region's unique landscape was formed millions of years ago when volcanic eruptions from Mount Ursis, Mount Hassan, and Mount Melendez covered the area in thick layers of ash. Over time, wind and water erosion sculpted this soft volcanic rock into the dramatic shapes we see today: pillars, cones, and valleys known as fairy chimneys. The fairy chimneys. The most iconic feature of Cappadocia is its fairy chimneys. These tall, thin rock formations were created when harder stone protected softer rock beneath it, allowing erosion to carve out natural towers. For centuries, locals believed these formations were created by fairies or spirits, giving them their magical name. Many of these chimneys were later hollowed out and used as walking through valleys like Passabeg, Love Valley, and Devrent Valley feels like stepping into another planet. Ancient civilizations of Cappadocia. Cappadocia has been inhabited since prehistoric times. Some of the civilizations that lived here include Hittites, Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Seljuks, Ottomans. The soft rock made it easy for people to carve shelters, but also offered protection from invaders. During the Roman and Byzantine periods, early Christians fled persecution and found refuge here, carving entire communities into the rock. Underground cities. One of Cappadocia's greatest mysteries is its underground cities. More than 200 underground cities have been discovered so far. The most famous ones include Derinkuy, Kaymakuk. Derinkuy descends over 60 meters underground and could shelter up to 20,000 people. These cities included living quarters, kitchens, ventilation shafts, churches, schools, storage rooms. Massive stone doors could be rolled shut to block entrances during attacks. These underground cities show how advanced and organized ancient Cappadocian society was. Rock-cut churches and Gagrim Open-Air Museum. The heart of Cappadocia's religious history lies in the Gagrim Open-Air Museum, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here, you'll find rock-cut churches, monasteries, chapels. Inside, beautifully preserved Byzantine frescoes depict scenes from the life of Jesus, the Bible, Christian saints. Despite being carved directly into stone, many of these paintings have survived for over 1,000 years. This area was once an important center for Christian education and worship. Hot air balloons, a modern icon. Today, Cappadocia is world famous for its hot air balloon rides. Every morning before sunrise, hundreds of balloons lift into the sky, floating silently above valleys, villages, and fairy chimneys. The experience offers panoramic views, golden sunrise colors, a sense of total calm. This has become one of the most photographed scenes in global travel. For many visitors, a balloon ride in Cappadocia is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Cappadocia today, culture and life. Modern Cappadocia balances tourism with tradition. Visitors can enjoy cave hotels carved into ancient rock, traditional Turkish cuisine, handcrafted pottery from Avanos, local wines made from volcanic soil. Despite its popularity, Cappadocia has managed to preserve its natural beauty and cultural identity. Why Cappadocia is unique. Cappadocia is more than a destination. It's a journey through time. From ancient underground cities to floating above valleys in a hot air balloon, this region tells a story of survival, faith, innovation, and natural beauty. There are few places on Earth where history and landscape are so deeply connected. If you're searching for a place that feels both ancient and magical, Cappadocia, Turkey, is truly unforgettable. Ani ruins, the forgotten city of 1,001 churches, ancient history. On the far eastern edge of Turkey, near the border of Armenia, lie the silent ruins of a once glorious city. This is Ani, a medieval metropolis known as the City of 1,001 Churches. Once one of the largest and richest cities in the world, Ani stood at the crossroads of empires, religions, and trade routes. Today, its empty churches, broken walls, and abandoned streets tell the story of rise, power, and eventual disappearance. Where is Ani? Ani is located in Kars province, eastern Turkey, sitting on a dramatic plateau above the Arpachay River, which now forms part of the border between Turkey and Armenia. The city's natural defenses, deep gorges on 3 sides, made it an ideal location for a fortified capital. Its position on the Silk Road turned Ani into a major commercial hub, connecting Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. The origins of Ani. Ani's history dates back to at least the 5th century, but it rose to prominence in the 10th century. The city became the capital of the Bagratid Armenian kingdom in the year 961 AD. Under King Ashid III, Ani transformed from a fortress into a thriving capital city. Within a few decades, Ani rivaled major cities like Constantinople, Baghdad, Cairo. Its population may have reached 100,000 people, an extraordinary number for the medieval world. Ani's golden age. During its peak, Ani was known for wealth, religious tolerance, architectural innovation. Merchants from different cultures traded silk, spices, gold, and precious stones. The city featured paved streets, public baths, markets, palaces, advanced water systems. Ani became famous across the medieval world for its churches, earning its legendary title, the City of 1,001 Churches. Ani's skyline was once filled with church domes and towers. Cathedral of Ani. The most impressive structure is the Cathedral of Ani, designed by architect Turdat, the same architect who restored the Hagia Sophia Dome in Constantinople, built in the late 10th century. The cathedral's design influenced Gothic architecture centuries later. Church of St. Gregory. Several churches dedicated to St. Gregory still stand, each with unique stone carvings and inscriptions. Religious diversity. Ani was home not only to Armenian apostolic churches, but also Georgian churches, mosques, Zoroastrian influences. This diversity made Ani a symbol of coexistence. City walls and defense system. Ani's massive double city walls were among the strongest of their time, built with watchtowers, reinforced gates, defensive corridors. The Lion Gate and Kars Gate protected the city from invasions. Despite these defenses, Ani faced repeated attacks due to its strategic importance. Invasions and decline. Ani's decline began in the 11th century. The city was conquered multiple times by Byzantines, Seljuk Turks, Mongols. In 1064, Seljuk Sultan Alp Arslan captured Ani, marking a major turning point. Later, devastating earthquakes destroyed buildings and infrastructure. Trade routes shifted, and Ani slowly lost its economic power. By the 14th century, the once great city was largely abandoned. Life after abandonment. For centuries, Ani stood empty. Wind, rain, and snow eroded its stone buildings. Travelers passing through described it as a ghost city frozen in time. Because of political borders and conflicts, Ani remained isolated and largely forgotten by the modern world. Ani today, a World Heritage Site. Today, Ani is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Archaeologists continue to uncover homes, streets, workshops, inscriptions. The ruins stand as a powerful reminder of how civilizations rise and fall. Ani is not just a historical site, it is a symbol of shared human heritage.